So I get a lot of requests asking if I like handheld gimbals, and I'm actually using one right now. This one's called a Crane, and it's by a company called Zhiyun. I will put a link below so you can find it. It's actually a great little gimbal. A lot of stability here, pretty easy to balance, and it's great for a quick run and gun shoot if you're only using a DSLR. It's meant for small cameras only. So you can't put a full-size camera on here, but for quick DSLR shoots, I'm quite a fan. So what's in this gimbal case? It's actually pretty simple. There's not a lot to it. It will come with usually 2 sets of lithium batteries. I like to keep them either in individual baggies so they don't short out, or there's plastic cases you can get for them as well. And to balance this thing, it's pretty simple. So got my GH5 here with just a Lumix zoom on there, and it's just dropping the batteries into the stem and then taking that, screwing it onto the bottom of the actual gimbal. And then there's only one lockdown screw for the camera itself, which is stored on the back of the base plate. When balancing a GH5, I've noticed that you have to move it a little bit farther to the left than you normally would. Mostly just because the weight is a little bit different. Plus, I also like to keep the screen popped out. And sometimes the easiest way to do this is to just sit and support it with your legs as you're trying to balance. So you want to take each axis at a time. So I'm going to start with the tilt and see where I'm at. And right now it looks like I'm a little, and it's a little bit of feel. So right now it feels like I'm a little bit front heavy as well as bottom heavy. So I'm going to slide the camera back. That was a little too far. Slide the camera back a little bit, lock it back down with the screw on the bottom. Now it's a little back heavy, and you kind of just finagle it until you figure out where its center is. So that's a little bit better. I do think it's a little bottom heavy, and how I can tell is when I point it down it wants to swing under, or the other way it still wants to swing under. So I'm going to loosen this screw here, raise it up a little bit. Let's try that, lock that down. Now that's actually a little top heavy, too top heavy now. So it's a lot of just kind of tweaking it back and forth until you find the right balance. Now I'm going to be testing side to side, and right now it's really left heavy. So this screw is the one that controls that axis. And I know that for this camera you pretty much have to go almost all the way to the right. Now, one thing that's great about this gimbal though is that even though this really isn't a great balance that I just did, however, it's such a great gimbal, it will pretty much take all that out. Let's go ahead and turn it on. And it's already stabilized. So I really didn't do the best balance on here, yet it's still working pretty darn well. It just clicked right in.